Hi everyone, this is Kasia. Welcome to Tarot Map. Let's have a fun catch-up today. Let's talk about deck combinations, my favorite deck combinations in July. I've had a little bit more time, it's summertime, and I've had time to play. So join me and let's discover what my favorite tarot oracle and various decks combinations were this month. Let's start with something that may surprise you. I, of course, have a lot of decks and I've pulled some of my older decks out to play. So here we are talking about Align Oracle by Nicole Intuitive, Nicole Linde. I've received this deck at some point as a gift from Natalia, and we are talking about Lux Ex Umbra Tarot, which is just such beautifully created deck. And can we just talk about these bags for a while? My favorite bags right now, constellations. You know how much I love stars, constellations, and so on. Here, you know, a plug if you want to discover what is your link to the constellations. So not our Western astrology approach to astrology, it's a different system, your direct connection to the stars. You can get a spiral astrology reading from me, and this reading is going to, you know, inform you on what constellations actually were activated during your birth. All right, so let's go. Lux Ex Umbra Tarot and Align Oracle. So maybe I'm going to turn it around like this so that you can see better. I binged on these two decks and I think they have just such great energy together. What I usually did for readings for myself was asking a question and then picking one or three. Mostly I like doing 3-card reading, 3 cards from the Oracle deck, and then informing those Oracle cards with tarot. So I think they work really well together. This one is much more busy and kind of colorful, and this tarot deck, it's, you know, much more muted with like elements of color, and it's just such a beautiful, vivid deck. So what I used to do was, for example, like, you know, asking a question about the inspiration for today, and let's maybe make it bigger right now. And then I pulled 3 cards from this Oracle deck. I have a lot of interesting deck combination like examples in my creative tarot class as well. So if anybody likes to mix decks or have a lot of decks and doesn't know what to do with them, you can get this class. It's only $25, and you will receive a cool PDF as well with a lot of examples and spreads and inspiration of how to mix a lot of decks in one reading. All right, so then I was, you know, for the inspiration, so here we have self-talk, grandmother spirit, and telepathic communication. So straight away I have this, you know, self-talk. There is some talking, communication as well, and you can see like this kind of 2 sides to communication. One that comes with like self-communicating, and depending on what the self-talk is, and then tuning in through the grandmother spirit into telepathic communication with maybe the higher self, let's say, and not the little ego self. So let's see how is the, you know, how am I actually doing this, right? So then I'm going to be pulling cards from this tarot deck just to see how I'm doing. So, you know, then I would just like try to connect the couples. So here I have La Papesse, which is interesting because it reminds me of Medusa card, right? Medusa in many cultures is depicted as jellyfish, and here we have this high priestess energy depicted through this card. So self-talk, I think in this case it's quite intuitive, right? I would kind of interpret it this way, that my self-talk is quite intuitive. Maybe the high priestess calls for a little bit more flow, so not so much mind talk. Maybe I should listen more to like my body, how it reacts to my emotions, and that would be a good suggestion with this kind of really fluidy energy of this card. And we can see in the next one as a combination that maybe I'm cutting off that inspiration from the grandmother spirit. So from the very, maybe there is like a being that wants to communicate with me, but maybe that's why this papes is here as a advice to go softer on the self-talk, because I'm blocking the messages from the grandmother spirit. And we can see this heart being stuck on the middle sword. And then for the telepathic communication, again, Two of Pentacles wants us to be a little bit more flexible with that. So the color green is overarching, and I guess softening up on the self-talk that's only in my head and listening more broadly to, you know, body sensations, to emotions, might be a good advice for me right now, how to get in touch with some more you know, outside of me communication, or to like the communication with my higher self. So this is basically what I used to do with these two decks. I'm just going to give you some more. And I specifically like this oracle and this tarot deck for working with with like kind of energy work, and how to bring it a little bit more into the physical world. So this oracle is much more kind of like a spirit world based, and tarot we can of course interpret in all these different areas. But yeah, this one, yes, you can see via the keywords, you know, it's always about connecting with the guides, blending with spirit, healing messages, and so on. So using this deck to bring it more to earth, onto the earthly plane, and that's how I was using these two. But I think they work so well. I really love it. So this is a cool combination of decks. And then another one that was really fun, I used quite a lot this Witch Sisters tarot deck. And this one I really like with the upcoming, I think she's done, you know, the Kickstarter twice, I think, even for this, the European Goddess and Spirit Oracle deck. It's really cool. I like the colors, and this deck works really well with the Witch Sister. I also really like the booklet and the big book as well. If you can get it, I highly recommend it. And these two decks just work energetically and colorfully, color-wise. They really great. And yeah, the deck is really well researched. I like the book. It gives good messages, and I love how they kind of, you know, inform one another. There is just something beautiful about it. The colors and the imagery, they just work well together. And in the Witch Sister Tarot, just the faces of older women, they're so amazing. So yeah, these two, like I called, how she's holding an apple and she's holding this good luck symbol. Yeah, there's just something cool about it. So this one I would just use, you know, pulling one oracle, like let's say, like if we wanted to do inspiration for today, right? I would just pull one card for today. So it's Six of Waters, Six of Cups, and I would pull just one goddess, and it's Ran. It's also connected to water, so maybe it's it would be informing the Six of Cups to actually see the other side of water as well. Six of Cups can be touch idealistic, or, you know, whenever we remember the past, we can see only the good things. Or here with Ran, and we get the darker side of water too. The other decks that I loved using this time, I actually reached for the what is it called, the Book of Doors divination deck. It is a mass-produced deck. I think I bought it on Amazon at some point. It's full of Egyptian, it's the alchemical oracle from ancient Egypt, and it has just all these different Egyptian gods and goddesses, and it's based on ancient Egyptian culture. And the book is quite extensive, well researched as well. So if you're into Egypt, you might want to check this out. I actually pulled it out when there was this moon conjoining, the new moon conjoining Sirius with Sobdet, or Sebdet as they call her here. And yeah, I just was, you know, searching for some depictions of this book, and then I connected it with this Jakob Jäger's Besançon Tarot by Artisan Tarot. It's their new deck. I love the backs of it, and it's a cool Marseille looking deck, and I just know it looked so cool together, you know. There is just simplicity in the madness. So some of the images of the Besançon, they just so cool. Look at the, you know, the instinctual bold lion. I love the Four of Pentacles with this woman holding a snake, so that's pretty cool. I love the faces in this Besançon. Ah, that's so cool. The Nut card, I love it. Milky Way. And in this deck, this particular rendition, Tarot de Besançon, I think that's how you pronounce it, sorry if I slaughter it, Jupiter and Junon were replacing the High Priestess and High Priests. The information card says that it was done because of all this variety of different cultural backgrounds, but maybe also a little bit because of the church and censorship. I love the faces. It reminds me a little bit of Doddle eyes, but they also a little bit crazier. In here, aces are really cool. Look at the Justice, that's so fun. So yeah, I was playing with this. So usually I would just, I love the Devil as well. So cool. Yeah, very nice deck, rendition of the deck. So usually this one I would just mostly be inspired by some outside external starry mythology. So usually a lot of fixed stars or constellations, they are connected to ancient Egyptian culture. So I would usually read about one, like I was reading about Sirius. Oops, sorry. Like I was reading about Sirius, and then I would, you know, usually just shuffle the deck and ask, like, what's the message for me from Sirius? And I would, you know, pull some cards, usually like 3, to figure out like what the message is for me from this star right now. And I would be doing it like daily while the conjunction was going on, because I was also creating astrological essences. So this one is actually from Mars-Uranus conjunction with Algol, but I also did one with Sirius and for the new moon. So this was, I think, like really fun way to learn, first of all, about all these Egyptian gods and tradition. The book is really extensive, so I highly recommend this one. And then, yeah, play with tarot. And Tarot de Marseille was very cool for that, because it's also very imaginative, and you don't get suggested too much information through images, because you have to make the images yourself. Okay, let me just clean up a little bit here. And the next one that I used quite a lot at some point as well was these two. So I love the images of the Crimson Asteria Tarot. I actually asked her, the creator of the deck, if I can use it. I want to redo my website a little bit, and I think I want to use some of the images from this deck, because it's just so cool. I love this deck. And yeah, the booklet is so great too. I just wish it was better edited, but I love it. It's really great. And then Goddess of Love Tarot, it's such a cool deck as well. If you haven't seen the live I've done once with Natalia, when she's just taking a piece of me for edging it blue because I couldn't find any other color. But yeah, these two decks work like amazingly well together. And this one has a lot of white space and a lot of, you know, like just weird images. And inside of me, I'm fucking weird. Like, I love those weird images. So I don't know how it's going to translate to the website, but I want to connect it with this maybe bluish, greenish color. I just like love these two decks. They work so well and they just stir my imagination. There's something amazing about them, and I just usually, depending on the mood, was playing with them, like, you know, figuring out things, like pulling out either 3 cards of those and 3 cards of this, and just letting the imagery guide me. Or if I had a question, I would pull 1 card from this and 3 cards from that, and other way around. Sometimes 1 card from the Crimson and more from the Goddess of Love Tarot. They just stunning decks, both of them, and I think they complement each other so well, because the collage decks are usually much more busy and they go so well with this quieter one. So if we just want to maybe, like, I'm just going to pull 1 of the Crimson Asteria deck. This deck feels so good in hands. So we have King of Pentacles, and then I would, like, for example, ask for the advice of, you know, or how can I best embark or evoke this particular energy within myself. And here we go. So I think that just looks so good. Oh, and look at this Queen of Swords. She reminds me of the Polish witch Asia Joanna a little bit. Yeah, all right. So this was another fun combo that I really enjoyed, and because I'm so binging on this Crimson Asteria Tarot, I also really loved connecting this one with, so let's see, with the Baby Blue Tarot by Carol Herzer. So it's this kind of monochromatic bluish Rider-Waite-Smith rendition, and with glitter, and I was just loving the connection of the blues and reds, and that's kind of what I would like to see on my website. Just thought it just looks so cool. What do you guys think? Would you get scared of imagery like this on the website? Or you'd be okay? Because, you know, I'm constellational Scorpio. I just love dark and I love going deeper. I just think it just looks so cool when you have the blue and the red together. It's a nice combination. So that was another one that I used to do. And I have only a couple of more left. I pulled out also this Mythic Tarot. You know, this is an out of print deck because it's one, I think it's in print, but in the newer version maybe. But I have that first edition, and I pulled it out because I was looking for an imagery on Chiron, and Chiron in this deck is shown as the high priest, like just standing in a cave. So I was reading also, the book is quite interesting, written by Liz Green, and just mythology deck basically. So I used to pull this and work with it with the Revolution Oracle by Editha Hedger, and this one is mythical, so it brings you, you know, like the myths and mythology. And this one is symbolical. Oh, I love, you know, like I love when that happens. This is totally random, but you have this wheel moving, and there's grace and shield, how cool! Look at this Neptune holding a spear. There is just something cool going on when you use decks like this. So that's why I think I love mixing decks, because you get this whammies, double whammies, triple whammies, and so on. And yeah, there is just something amazing that comes up usually with the combination of decks. So these two I used to like just binge and look for a connection between the tarot card and the symbol that's used on Edita's deck. Okay, so the booklet to this symbol deck, the Revolution Oracle, it's also quite cool. So they go well together. And then these two would probably work well too, maybe a bit over, a bit too much. But yeah, another one that I used to really love is the Mary Magdalene cards by Faye Barrett. And I also purchased from Sandy the Rose Dragons, so the kind of new version of, not new version, but she's added to the Rose Alchemy. It came with this little velvety bag, but the cards are a little bit different from the traditional Rose Alchemy. There's only 18 cards, and these ones, they are Cosmic Dragon Roses, and there is 5 Elemental Roses. And I took the Cosmic Dragon Roses because I wanted to connect them to constellations, because she's got 13 Cosmic Dragon Roses. I thought it was just interesting. It comes with the book as well, and one of the roses that I kept pulling was this CRD 1, so Cosmic Rose Dragon 1, or Celestial Rose Dragon 1. And there is the description. It's connected to fire signs, Aries, the trine Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Rose is the Pilgrim Rose. And Sandy just like, there's a description of what this rose is about. There's also like a channeling from Mother Mary. And to me, when I worked with Faye's deck, this card, this was like the most spectacular connection. I don't know, during the time when I pulled it, I actually saw in this rose, there's an eye, the nose, this man, so like Christ kissing this woman, Mary Magdalene, in the rose. So when I pulled these two cards together, I was like, oh, wow, I could see it. And I knew like I'm influenced by this image, but there was just something energetically very similar in those two. And what was interesting when I thought about the Kiss card and maybe I just pulled them here for now, the Kiss card and the Rose card, I felt actually Gemini's energy. So the Kiss was like the feminine and masculine reunited, kiss between the masculine and feminine, constant flow between yin and yang in the rose. And I love that fiery middle and that kind of watery, like edges, fluidity and wetness, like moisture conditions. Maybe there's some information for the body, maybe the stars of Gemini. I don't know, I'm working with this, like I'm kind of watching and like trying to figure out for myself what would be the perfect combo for me. But here are the roses, and they square and much smaller than the other roses that we know. And this is how they look all together, set up in these elements, and 13, so 12 zodiac signs set up again around 1. And these are the cards from Faye as well. So they both just have really beautiful energy. So these ones are much more contemplative, much more meditative decks. I love these two together, and I'm just getting more familiar with the roses. Maybe I will study with Sandy. She's doing some courses starting in August, so we'll see how I go. So anyway, this was something new, and this is something new that I'm kind of working on, my own project for myself. Love it. And I really like this deck by Faye. Very, very cool. And then the last one is second last. The last one, second last one is Devdoula Oracle and Remembering the Sweet Fool Tarot. This is one of my favorite decks, and Devdoula Oracle goes so well with it. It's just stunning how they both work. I do have the bigger version of the Remembering the Sweet Fool, but with this one I'm just going to show you a couple of kind of combinations because they're just so beautiful together and work so well, like Manifest Self and King of Heels, which is the King of Pentacles, Pleasure with 3 of Pentacles, Unprocessed with 5 of Swords, how cool, New Narratives with 5 of Cups. Just love it, you know. 3 of Points. I love the image, but the keyword is balance, and yeah, it's so interesting. Hierophant, Beauty in Death. So that looks so good together. It's just something beautiful, and I used to just pull, you know, as an inspiration for the day, the one card of the Doula Oracle and let's say vision. So, you know, what's the vision, or how can I keep my vision if I knew what vision I have at the moment or during the day. And I used to just pull like 3 cards on top of it, or, you know, next to it, and just sit with it, because this deck is very talkative, but it's quieter, so you've got to give it time. Sometimes it's like hits me and I know straight away what the cards mean. Sometimes I don't even look at the names of the cards. I just let the imagery speak to me, and I like connecting. So here I'm drawn to the eyes, and to the eyes of the cat, and like kind of eyes of the king. There is just something going on here, whereas the cat's eye the most sharp and visible. So, you know, there is just some opening, as I can feel from this particular vision, but getting more clear about it. But yeah, visions don't have to be clear. We don't have to understand straight away everything about them. But yeah, these 2 decks, very, very cool, and just love it. I just love it. So these 2 are amazing, and they work so well together. There's just something beautiful when they come, and just as, you know, the shapes that repeat, it's so good. I've got 2 classes. One is on how to read unusual tarot deck, and one it's creative tarot class. I highly recommend checking those out if you haven't yet, to like learn how you can connect the meanings and make meanings out of the crazy cards. And I do have a couple of decks that I want to just show you, because these are decks that, new decks from Rockpool. They coming, I think they August releases, maybe in some countries they available already. So I wanted to review the Dog Speak Oracle because of my little dog. And here you can just see what the dog does, you know, like tail wagging, tail tuck, licking, like my dog licks all the time. And here it says, licking is usually a dog's way of showing affection. They often lick when they feel relaxed and happy. Ooh. So you get information of like the body language of your dog. So I thought like that will be cute just to learn, you know, some stuff. So that's pretty cool. Couple of cards, not too big, but like sweet, nicely made. Even though the box doesn't really close anymore. I don't know, it was supposed to be magnetic or not. I wanted to check the palmistry cards as well, and you can connect them with this little thing, and that's also provided in the box. And I thought, like, you know, you can see all these lines, and maybe I learned something new because it's an image, and then there is the description in the back of the card. So just a curiosity deck, which I thought was like well made and cute. And then I received this Feminine Wisdom Oracle by Leah Androich. She is the, I think she's from the Balkans, but I'm not sure if she's Croatian artist. In any case, she also draws some images for Seasons of the Witch, and I enjoy this combination of images a lot. So this feminine wisdom comes with 36 cards. So the images are beautiful in my opinion, and I just wanted to check it out because of the colors and like just this there was just something that like softness that drew me in. And they gilded, have beautiful backs, gorgeous coloring as well. They on the more what would I say, like mass market side of the oracle decks, but there is just something sweet about this imagery. And sometimes I just need like a simple one card oracle draw, and these decks, even like Doreen Virtue's decks, you know, they were just like good for this. Just one card, you kind of get this softness of the art. And I have to say that the artwork speaks in this deck a lot, even though, you know, everybody is beautiful and everybody is whatever, just pretty girl. But in some way there is the intentionality behind the art, and the softness and kindness of the art speaks through. So I like it. So whatever, you know, if you feel like you would be using this deck is coming up in August, I think, and you might be enjoying it. So I'm just going to show you quickly all the cards, and we can maybe pull one card and I show you how the booklet looks. But yeah, there is just something sweet about this deck. I love the coloring also. It's very kind of calming and kind. Yeah, very supportive deck. Okay, so if we just want to pull one and I show you the book inspiration, so hopefully you will get some inspiration from it. So this is number 19. It's very easy to find. You got the whole image of the card in the book. The process of being mentally stimulated to do or create something, the beautiful spark, enthusiastic impulse. So they like the more of like keywords. You have a couple of those here. Beautiful spark, moving impulse. And then you have a little bit more description about it. And affirmations. My inspirations and my passions are important and meaningful. Other women inspire me. I will never compare myself with others again. So here you go. This is how the oracle comes. I love that it doesn't have like 200 of pages of the text, and it's quite beautiful. So I'm going to finish with this, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Share your favorite compilations. If you're up for a astrology reading, if you were looking for one, I've got a special till 22nd of July only, day after the full moon. I reduced a little bit my 2-hour in-depth astrology sessions from Tropical Astrology, so take a look at that. I will link it below. Lovely to catch up. Bye!